Hey guys, so this video is going to make a connection between the last two videos, the first one and the second one. So the first video we talked about the four conditions that must be met, independence, random, 10% condition, and the normality. Okay. Then on the second video we talked about the t-statistic and how to find that. On this example, I'm just going to use the calculator. If you want me to show you how to use the book, email me and I'll show you. I'll send you a quick little link or make a special video just for you. Okay, so no real new notes here. This is just going to be in our example. So we're going to talk about Abby and Raquel. So what they're kind of bitter. They've been going to a sandwich shop. I didn't write all the narrative down. I just tried to give you the bare minimum. So they've been going to the sandwich shop and they think they're not getting a full 6 inches of sandwich when they go. So they're kind of those guys. So they randomly select 24 sandwiches at different times during the next month and measure their sandwiches. So we get this data here, 24 sandwiches and their measurement. We've got 4.5 or 4.5, 4.75, 4.75, 5.5, 5.5, 5.5. I apologize. That's 5.0, 5.0, 5.0. This is 5.5. This is 5.5, 5.5, 5.5, 5.5, 5.5, 5.75. These three. You got a 6.0. You got another 6.5 and then 6.0, 6.0. I must have switched them in order. And then 6.5, 6.75, 6.75, and 7. So you're going to want to pause it. And what I would recommend you do first, before we put that in the data, we actually need to do our investigation, don't we? Yep, we do. Okay, so let's talk about, are they individuals, or sorry, independent? And we could say yes, because one sandwich shouldn't affect the other. And I understand, because when I first read this problem and I was thinking through it, I said, well, what if the person before you ordered another 6 inch and then they cut down, say, they cut it larger, and so then you would get a short one. So it's really not independent, but we're supposed not to think too much about it. We're just supposed to say that yes, they're independent, that my order is not going to affect my next order. And I think that's what they're looking at. It's just individual orders. Okay. So then the next one is random. And that's stated, so we're good there. My 10% condition, well, we've got 24 sandwiches. I'm pretty sure 24 sandwiches or 240 sandwiches are going to be less than the entire population of sandwiches, at least we hope. Okay, so 240 sandwiches more than the population. Okay, and then we're going to go to large numbers. Okay, and this is where we're going to come down here. It didn't state that it was over. That it was not normal. It didn't state that we already know that the sample size is less than 30. So now we are going to have to plot a dot plot and a box plot. Okay. So enter the data. Here, let me move this out of the way. So enter the data in your calculator. Do a dot plot and do a box plot, and I'll show you mine. Well, you guys just keep playing. I gotta pause the video and make it. Okay. Can't tell which is worse. Anyway, so we'll go with that. When what I got here is my dot plot. It shows that it's pretty normal. I like the way that it looks. I do a box plot. Ignore that line right there. That's my mistake. No outliers. So then I would come up to here and say that I can proceed with my t-test because the conditions have been met. Okay. So what we're going to do is we are going to use, let me pause this so that it doesn't waste time. Hey guys, I had a little something happen off, so I wanted to start over again so you wouldn't have to deal with that. So what I did, because of the 4 conditions were met, I came up with our alternative hypothesis, mu is equal to 6. An alternative hypothesis is that the mu is less than 6. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do my 1 var stats test where I find x is equal to 5.698 and s of x is 0.676. I do my test statistic and I find out, let me get to it, is negative 2.19. Alright, what this is over here was, in case you're wondering, is I was trying to remind you what the t distribution was. It's similar to the normal distribution. It's just that the tails are a little bit wider from the x-axis, and then it's also a little bit spikier at the mean part. Okay, let's see here. And so we're looking at stuff to this side of it, and so that's why we're working on finding our test statistic. Okay, so then what happens is we found our test statistic. I can go to my TCDF, and so I would go TCDF. My lower is going to be 2.19. Everything stays there. Now my degrees of freedom is 23. So let's see here. I'd go lower is 2.19. Upper is 1e to the 99. And my degrees of freedom is equal to 23. And so then I get a score of 0.19. Okay. So there's that. There's everything that you can do for this is you don't necessarily have to work all the way through this way. Is using our calculator, we can go to a t-test, and that is found in your stats, and you move all the way over to tests, and we're just going to come down here to our t-test. Okay, I used the stats and put in my data. Now this one's going to be a little bit more accurate because it's not ending the decimal. It's going to be continuing on. Okay, and so I'm going to clear that up so you can kind of see it. Okay, so then I'm going to come down here. I want it less than. So there's my t-score, which is what I got. There's my p-value that we got, which is what we have here. So everything is about the same. Okay. So there's 2 ways you can do it. You can do a t-score and a TCDF, or you can do a t-test, enter the data in, and you get the same thing. Okay. So now we know that my value, my p-value is this, and I have that, which means that this happens. So then I would reject the null hypothesis. Okay, so then I need to put it into the context of the question, how much time do I got? I got about 5 minutes to finish this up on the video. Okay, so then I would say, since the p-value equals 0.019 and my significance level is 0.10, we would reject the null hypothesis, and I would say there is convincing evidence that the true mean length of sandwiches is less than 6 inches. Okay. Okay, so since we rejected the null hypothesis for the alternative hypothesis, what we could have made is we could have made a type 1 error. Okay. So since we've made a type 1 error, what really could have happened is we've rejected the null hypothesis, but in reality the sandwiches were 6 inches. Okay, and so when the sandwiches were actually really 6 inches, what's happening is we could be costing the sandwich place money because they actually are making the sandwiches 6 inches, and now they're saying that they're not, so now they're going to be making them longer, or they could be going on, people would go on strike, not use them, and that type of thing. Okay, so that's the context. So here's the end of the video. Appreciate it. Talk to you guys later.